Hello, and welcome to Dilyn's Dive Bar. We are now at the season finale of season 2, and since it is our season finale, I had to bring something special for you. So, I have two very special guests with me today in the Dive Bar. You have seen them before on their own individual episodes, and you have my parents, Pastor Glover, I call him Daddy, and Miss Penni Glover, and I call her Mommy. So, welcome back to the Dive Bar.
Thank you.
So we tonight are talking about a very funny topic to me because these are my parents and we're talking about them being divorced BFFs. I think it's hilarious because a lot of my friends who meet me now think that they're still married. So we always laugh about that because they have developed an amazing friendship since they decided to divorce and they are still best friends, which is so funny. But that's something we definitely want to talk about later. If this is your first time tuning into Dilyn's Dive Bar, I want to let you know that this is about community, conversations, and cocktails. We are having conversations that provoke thought, that encourage us to be better versions of ourselves. And we are a community that support one another in that pursuit of being better versions of ourselves. And of course, cocktails. And tonight is viewer's choice. So whatever cocktail you're having tonight, I want you to put that down in the comments. Share with us what you're drinking. You may go back and visit some of the favorites from previous seasons and episodes. So definitely let us know what you're drinking on tonight. So first things first, let's talk about our restaurant shout outs. I am shouting out Fuse Kitchen. It is here in Marietta. It is on Franklin Road. And I had the pleasure of eating there yesterday. If you remember, we had Anika on our show a few episodes. She was our spiritual medium, and that's actually that's where she works. So I went there to visit her and had an incredible experience. I had their chicken tacos, which were absolutely amazing. And it's like so funny to me how it's like 4 ingredients, but they were like delicious. It was chicken, cilantro, onions, and like lime juice. That was it, but it was like super flavorful. So good. And they make their tortillas by hand in the restaurant. So y'all should definitely go check them out. They have some great drinks. She made me a strawberry mojito, which was strawberry with rum and club soda. Very, very good. So I definitely check out Fuse Kitchen. They are a Mexican restaurant. They just added their bar. So go in there and check out some of the cocktails that Anika is mixing up. So let's get into our quick dip for the night. Our quick dip is kind of interesting. I was on Facebook, and there was a guy who had this list of all the things he thinks men should do dating. And he had this list, and he said, this is a win. It's a slam dunk. And he's like, show up on time, bring her flowers, compliment her, walk on the outside of the sidewalk. And he just had this list of things. And walk her to the door at the end of the night. And so many guys in the comments were like, you doing too much. You tripping. One dude was like, y'all ain't worth this kind of effort. And I'm like, wait a minute. What? This is what dating is ghetto. Okay? I'm telling you now, it's ghetto. Oh my gosh. Being single is so rude. And so many women were like, oh, this is great. Like, I appreciate this. And this one guy was like, that's why women think all they got to do is show up. Because y'all doing all this kind of stuff. I want your opinion because clearly your generation is way different from the foolishness that I am dealing with. So when you hear those things, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
He was right.
Who was right?
The guy was saying,
with the good list.
Of things
oh, okay.
I know you didn't think I was talking about.
I thought you knew he was right. The last thing I heard was women tripping.
Oh, no.
Surely
No, the guy who made that list, he was right. Because when your dad and I were dating, he used to open the car door for me.
That was on the list.
Open the doors. We were going places, which he still does, but he dated me. He
courted you.
He courted me. Yes, absolutely.
He wooed you.
Yeah.
And you woo. And see, I don't get none of that dating now, okay? None of that, which is why I'm like, how did y'all pull that off? And raise, because Jared is the exact same way with Drake. And I get none of that. I get told by dudes that you spoiled me, that you have ruined me for men, because my dad took me to my first expensive restaurant. Because he was like, ain't no boy gonna impress my baby with Red Lobster, which is true. You're not. So now they're like, your dad ruined you, so now you got all these expectations. That's a bad thing.
He was showing you what to expect, so that you needed to set a standard. And had he not done that, then you would have been impressed with Red Lobster or Applebee's. But he was showing you these things so you would know what to set a standard and know what to expect from a guy.
So when you hear those things,
when I hear those things, I'm wondering what's in these fellas' heads.
right?
I mean, because it's not so much that you're trying to impress the woman as much as you're trying to treat her as a lady. And that's a whole different ball game.
Right, right.
You know, I wasn't trying to impress your mother. I was trying to treat her as a lady. And by doing so, this is how a lady ought to be treated. And that was the same thing I wanted to show you when I wanted you to go to some places and be treated nice. Be treated like a lady. It's not a matter of sweeping off her feet, wooing her. These things, to a gentleman, they come naturally.
Gentlemen, natural, second nature.
You know, you're not trying to put on.
Right.
That was me.
Right.
You know, I wasn't trying to, paint a favorable picture of myself. I was being me.
It's just who you are.
Bottom line.
Unfortunately, he raised the last two, so I can't date them. Them are brothers. So I'm telling y'all, being single is so ghetto. It's so rude. So I'm reading the comments, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then all the comments with the dudes, and I'm like, "So ain't none of y'all gonna do this? Like, is that what I'm hearing?" Because I mean, they made it seem like he was just tripping, and he was like, "Women feel entitled. All they gotta do is show up."
What else did you want him to do?
I don't know, because nobody ever said, what we were supposed to be doing. It was just men weren't supposed to be doing all that. And I'm like, okay. Now, on the flip side, I saw this foolishness. This girl made up this list of all these places you can't go on a first date. And the Cheesecake Factory was on there.
I remember that.
And I'm sitting there looking like, where is you trying to go on this first date? They don't know you. Like, why can't we go to the Cheesecake Factory? What's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? And I'm like, Lord, am I cheating, Jesus? Because I was just like, Cheesecake Factory, all right with me. It's 4,000 pages, so clearly there's something on there you're gonna find that you like. It's a nice setting. So I'm like, well, what exactly were you looking for? Then one girl put up, it was like a picture of like a picnic. And she was like, if a guy does this for you on a date, are you staying and eating or no? I mean, what's in the basket? They were like, and I think somebody said it was like Popeye's chicken or something. I was like, I like chicken. But what is you supposed to eat on a picnic? Like, I mean, I feel like stuff like that is romantic.
It is.
Right.
And so I'm just like, is romance just beyond dead? Is that what we are seeing? That nobody does stuff like that anymore?
I mean, you can, like an indoor picnic, you can use your imagination.
Right.
So, you lay it out, you can have wine. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with having Popeye's chicken on, or having sandwiches.
Right.
It's you create the atmosphere.
Right.
The menu is really not important.
It's the effort that you put into it.
And see, that's how I looked at it. I was like, because like they had it set up with the blanket,
right,
and they had the wine glasses. It was a cute little setup. And I'm saying, like, I'm just confused as like what line these women are trying to draw, because the men have drawn a line and they ain't doing none of this foolishness. So it's just like, and I look at like old school like sitcoms, and I was watching the Golden Girls, and Rose's date walked her to the door. She handed him her key, and he unlocked the door. And I said, I ain't never did that. First of all, I'm not giving you my key. But then I was like, I've never even thought to do that. But it was just like, and I'm saying like, so was that standard in that time?
Right.
That you hand your key to the man and he opened the door?
That's building trust.
Yeah.
That's because that says to him is, I trust you.
So it's clearly not first date etiquette.
I wouldn't think first date etiquette, no.
So be like fifth date.
That's down the road. I don't think that's something you do
right
off the rip.
Yeah.
But it is an indication of the level of trust I have.
Gotcha. Now, back in the day, the gentleman would pick the woman up from her house. Nowadays, I don't know if I want you to know where I live just yet. So what are your thoughts on us meeting up?
That's a good idea now.
Okay.
Meet in a public place.
Right.
Meet in a restaurant.
Okay.
And if it's a bomb, no problem.
Right.
If it's all right, then okay, then next time you can pick me.
Okay. Because I'm just like, I get the whole sentiment, but I'm like, I don't know if I want you to have my address just yet.
Yeah.
Right off the rip. In these days,
Right.
Yeah,
It's a different time.
our time, that was cool.
Exactly.
There's so many fools out there
Yeah.
now that you just can't do.
So
that.
in your time, if y'all had met up on a first date, would grandma have thought that daddy wasn't a gentleman because he didn't pick you up?
Well, number one, she wouldn't have let me go.
Ah.
And she said, no, he has to come to the house and pick you up. So I need to meet him. I need to know him. And she never would have let me just, like if he'd have come up to the, and blew his horn. There's no way she would have let me go out the house. She'd be like, no, he needs to come inside because that was the time we lived in. You went to the house, you met the parents.
Now I had a dude, we were supposed to go to lunch, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna come outside and blow. No.
Mm-mm.
I said, you cannot do that. And he was like, wow, my dad is home. You're gonna have to come to the door, knock on the door. And he was like, I ain't really dressed. We going to lunch. We ain't going to the Oscars, but you cannot. But my dad is not letting me out this house. And he was like, you a grown woman. You want to tell him that? Because I'm not gonna have that conversation with him. So do you want to tell him I'm a grown woman? Because I'm not gonna be like, I'm a grown woman. No. I was like, so he was like, no, we'll have to do lunch another time. Because you don't want to come up to the door. And he was like, no, I ain't ready to meet him. It ain't that kind of conversation, but you cannot blow the horn and I'll walk out the door.
And I wouldn't have let you done it either. When you were in high school, when you were dating, you didn't no longer come up here and blow. They had to come inside and meet us.
Even my female friend, I was like, y'all can't be blowing.
That's right.
They was like, why not? Y'all cannot blow a horn. And I move. It don't work that way. It was kind of like when I was telling them to call the house, may I speak to Randy? Because if you say it's Randy home, she hanging up on you. I'm telling you now, Penny gonna be like, yep. You phone etiquette. I'm trying to prep folk. I'm like, my parents don't play about stuff like that, and I'm not having that argument on nobody's behalf. So I don't know what to tell you. So, well, let's see. I was raised that way. Make a woman feel like a woman meant everything. Being a gentleman wasn't necessarily meant to impress anyone. That was a part of your character. It's part of my DNA. Come on, whoa.
Very good.
Yeah.
But let me go take it one step further. To come to a home and blow is a level of disrespect.
That's right.
You're disrespecting that parent's home. And no good parent is going to put up.
And you're disrespecting the young lady because you're saying, in essence, look, I just want to pick you up so we can go,
Got you. Y'all hear that? No blowing of the horn. You got to come up. See?
Well, probably now they wouldn't blow the horn. They'll shoot you a text. I'm out here.
Yeah, right.
I'm outside. This is not for you. This is a safe space. I'm outside. Yes. And I know it's just strange because so many of those things y'all instilled in us, and so many people kind of, people think we were aliens growing up because we knew you and saw you every day. And we all had the same daddy. So, people thought, I had friends that were like, oh, you seen your daddy? This morning. Like, this morning today. Like, yeah. So, now it's like we're really aliens because I still aspire to have that kind of interaction when I date. I mean, yes, I'm a modern woman because I have a career, blah, 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 but I still like that whole kind of, I want romance, real romance. I gotta stop watching TV, y'all. But because soap operas, all that stuff.
Channel.
See, that's why I stay away from it. They chase them around the airport. I love you. We'll get that stuff. You tell man you leaving, he already talking to somebody else, little jerk. So I mean, there is no chasing, you know, I'm just a boy in love with a girl. Yeah, we don't get that. We don't get that at all. Telling y'all dating is ghetto. So all y'all thinking about divorce, rethink it. Okay, it's hard out here for a pimp. Just saying. So
it's ironic you put it that way because I was having conversations with friends today over lunch. And I simply said, I feel sorry for 21st century women. Mm-hmm. There ain't nothing to date out here.
We need your sympathy.
You know,
and your prayers.
Some of these males, and that's what I want, they are literally about nothing. They don't want anything. They don't aspire to anything. They have no goals. They have no drive. They have no manners.
And then they saw us men, or we're too masculine when we have all of those things. And I'm like, well, if I'm soft and you soft, we got a problem. It's hard out here. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard, y'all. It's hard. So it's one of those things where I've seen some instances where, you know, like they had this one guy, he proposed to his girlfriend by paying off all her student debt. Paid off all her student loans. It was like, let's get married. She was mad because he ain't had no ring. Ma'am.
He just paid off all your student debt.
And I'm looking at my thing now. You witch. You understand what he just did for you? And I said, you want a ring? Hello, somebody.
Give me the your future.
Exactly.
He just paved the way.
Now, since she said no, I'd have put a stop payment on my check or something. Now that heifer said no, never mind. So you pay your own damn debt. But I'm just like, I'm confused. Then one guy, he bought, the girl bought her dude a rental property for his birthday. So he could flip house or have an Airbnb or something like that. He was mad. He wanted Gucci something else or another. Sir, she bought you property.
Materialistic.
Equity. She gave you a source of income. That's
what okay. He had no idea. He's clueless.
And I'm saying, like, she bought you a whole house. He was like, no, I thought I was going to get an outfit. I'm sorry. I'm so confused at this moment. Why are you mad?
Right.
It's ghetto out here. I'm telling y'all, this dating thing is no joke. It's no joke. And there are those of us who really do want to be married, but it's like, it's hard to find someone, one, who is not intimidated by an ambitious woman, because I've dealt with that before. That's no go, because I'm never going to stop being ambitious. But then I am like pretty traditional because I watch y'all. Like, I watched you be a homemaker. I watched you take care of daddy, take care of us. Like, we learned how to cook from you. Like, I still laugh about how you came and rescued everybody from breakfast when me and Jared was making pancakes. Y'all was gonna have food poisoning if y'all had them pancakes. But it's like you didn't get mad, which was so funny to me. You didn't get mad. You were just like, oh, these look good. We didn't know that she was throwing them away because like the inside was total batter. But like she walked us through how to make them. So it's like we learned all those things, how to be a wife and a mom from you. And then you got dudes out here that just want to make us baby mamas. And it's like, I don't want that. I want the whole shebang.
Right.
So yeah, I'm telling y'all it's hard out here. We need your prayers.
Yeah, I see.
Put 21st century women on the top and the bottom of your prayer list. Start and end with us, man. We need it. All right, so we're going to take our first commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about our family affair, our divorced BFFs over here. And we're going to talk about ways of building the friendship after the marriage has ended. We'll be right back. This is Dilyn's Dive Bar.
right.
Not at all. Oh my gosh.
Nice, being cordial.
So we're talking about the funny things that happen when men and women interact. We were just discussing how sometimes some guys can't even say hi without one. I got a boyfriend. I got somebody. First of all, we just said, hey, calm down. So I think that's the interactions between men and women today are so different. It's so different. I really want to use the word weird sometimes because it can be
disgusting.
That too. And it's depressing because when you have like I've had guys who get mad when I didn't respond to them when they're driving down the street to hey, and like one dude, I kept walking because I was raised that I don't respond to stuff like that, and he was like, "Don't I want you no way?" He was just hollering out the window at me. Or this one guy got mad because he was sitting in his car and he wanted me to come over and come talk to him and like lean in the car. I'm not a prostitute, so you're gonna have to get out of the car and come talk to me because I'm not gonna be leaning all over in your car. I wasn't raised like that. I'm just not about to do that. And he got mad. He was like, I guess you one of them stuck up ones. Apparently. And I am just bougie. Apparently. So we are talking right now with my parents, Rem Glover and Penny. I call them mommy and daddy. And we are talking about how they have built their friendship after the marriage ended. So I want you to tell the people how you met.
All right.
I know the story.
In church. I was the youth day speaker at the Mount Ephraim Church, pastored by Reverend R.L. White, and she was the MC.
Chairperson.
She was running the event. Okay, that's what I heard. Okay.
So I'm sitting there going through the worship, looking at this PYT.
My mama.
I'm like,
supposed to be reading the word.
The word was already in there. So I could take a commercial. And I said, okay. But nothing was said that day. Well, let me preface it by saying I'm a pack rat. I keep everything. So at that point, I was keeping all of the programs and all. I go to the First Commit Church, my home church, and I have this letter. My pastor gives me the letter, and I open it up, and it was thanking me for being the youth day speaker and all of this. And at the bottom of it, it had her name as the chairperson and whoever was the co-chairperson and their phone numbers. I said, So I go back to my old programs and say, now this last one I don't recognize.
Right.
This one I think I do. So I matched it up and I said, oh, this was that PYT. So guess what I did?
You called the phone number.
Not the other one. But I did call her.
You called the chairperson.
And it kind of went from there.
How old were y'all at the time?
I was 16.
17.
16 and 17. Okay, so you were flirting by letter.
I was. Yes, I was.
It worked. Hello. So what was your first date?
We went to wrestling.
This is so funny.
Wrestling match at the Omni.
This is so funny. Because our whole family likes wrestling.
Well, we almost didn't make a family because this person at the end of the show takes off running toward the ring. Where the hell are you going? I mean, with all these people, I meet the wrestler. Now the fool in me said, I need to leave her butt. But the gentleman in me said,
Let me go get her. Did you meet anybody?
She didn't even get near the ring.
But I was trying.
You gotta go. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. See, I've never heard that part.
Oh, really?
No! I knew y'all went to a wrestling match. I had no idea you tried to meet the
I
wrestler.
did, girl. I took off running down the front, trying to get to the ring so I could shake somebody's hand.
Now, she's coming this way. When the matches are over, they're going that way.
Yeah.
So the twain would never meet. Because they're going that way, and she's coming this way. I called her everything. I thought, well, really? Really?
And you didn't get to meet nobody.
They were gone. They were going back to the dressing room.
That is so funny. So we've had our first date.
No, wait a minute. Hold
Oh,
on.
there's more?
Not only is she going this way, everybody else
It's
is
coming
coming
toward
But he got to try to fight his way through the people coming this way because he's the only one going that way.
chasing you.
Chasing me.
Is this really worth it?
Yes. Yes, she was. It would have worked out better if you'd actually bet somebody, though.
Damn it.
You weren't really thinking that. But at least I got your thought process, though. If you moved fast enough, you might have been able to.
I was
Might have
trying,
been able to.
I was
No.
trying, but
No.
when they got out of the ring, they headed down that hallway that way, and we're sitting way up here, and I'm trying to run way down there.
That's funny. Okay, so we had the first date. Proposal. What was that like?
Very traditional.
Mhm.
Now, your boy was just gonna do it from the sofa.
Oh, okay.
And she said, "No, you need to get down on one knee."
Were you directing?
I'm like, really?
I watched too much TV.
Hey, blame television because I want the same thing. Excuse you.
So I did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes. So you were just gonna sit next to him and be like, "Will you marry me?"
Yes.
That is not romantical.
The important thing was the question, not the method.
The delivery matters.
I delivered it nicely. Will you marry me?
And he did it on his knee.
Amen.
And after her pushing for it, okay.
Did you have a ring?
No, we didn't have
Yeah,
we
not
didn't have a
then.
ring then. Mm-mm.
Okay. So just will you marry? But I mean, whose house?
We were at our house.
Okay. You just gonna randomly just be like, "Hey, by the way, gonna get married."
Do you have any other options? I'm in.
What the
Do you know who's sitting there?
hell? Whoa, okay. That's
Well,
Randall Glover here, honey.
And this
wait,
is
wait. This now, she didn't tell you this. Her mother, her initial reaction
That's
to
what I
me
was
wasn't
getting ready to
good.
talk about.
Grandma didn't like you.
'Cause, of course, this is Randy L. Glover.
Right.
So I've never had a self-esteem problem. So shut up. And I'm used to taking over the room. So when I arrived at their house, I still had that aura about me.
He's an Aquarius. This is what we do.
Did she say he's arrogant?
Arrogant. He just so arrogant. And when I would tell him, Mama Randy's coming up, you know.
And see, by the time I came along, y'all were like the Huxtables and she loved you. So it's just so funny to hear that she was not fun.
If she was not, she was not a fan.
What was something you told me he used to with the Dap Daddy walk?
He used to
with
umbrella. Because the house we lived in was sitting on a hill, and so when he had to park.
Way on the hill.
And we didn't really have a driveway. We shared a driveway with the house next door.
Okay.
But we parked on the corner. So like our house was like we were like 3 houses from the corner. So we always parked on the corner. So that's where he parked. And he would walk around tapping his umbrella, pimping, coming down the sidewalk.
He had a little
Yes.
Hat turned to the side. Hat matching my boots.
Come on, matching the boots.
It was a red hat and red boots.
Wow. He still coordinates like that to this day. Down to the Bible that he carries.
Yeah.
And the notebook.
Yes. They all gotta be color coordinated.
He did pass that along to his children. We all like to color. What do you say? Coordinate. You gotta coordinate. Yes. All right. So now you are married. What was the first year like?
It was good. Like it was supposed to be.
The honeymoon
The
phase.
honeymoon, yeah.
It was like it's supposed to be. And it was like that for a
Long
long
time.
time.
I like it. So obviously children came along. Hey. So now we have gotten to the point where we're thinking of the divorce. What were the thoughts that were going through your head?
That's kind of hard to say because it's nothing that you can really pinpoint.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that we just kind of came to the conclusion that it's not working anymore.
Yeah, there was a disconnect.
Yeah.
So was there like a conversation? TV tells us that there's always conversations that they had. So there was no sit down like,
no.
It's time for us to think about the next phase step or anything like that.
No. It kind of just happened, and that's not an escape, but that's really
happened.
It just happened.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts when you were thinking about the co-parenting aspect of it?
I didn't think about it because I knew he would always be there for you all. There was never a doubt in my mind that he was not going to take care of you all. So I didn't, you all still went to his church, and participated. And there were times I actually came over and, so I never thought, that he wouldn't take care of you. And he did.
Well, now, being a real man, I was not going to allow the courts to tell me how to take care of my children.
Right.
My manhood told me how to do that and what I needed to do. So that part of it, and I hear folks fight about those things. We never have to fight about that. I did what fathers do, what real fathers do. You're there. You are responsible. You take care of responsibility. One of my favorite sayings was, when you plant seed, you provide need.
Right.
So I knew what y'all needed to do. So that's what we've done.
So there was never a need for like a custody agreement or anything like that.
No.
So when you hear the people talking about that nowadays, they're fighting in court and they're, she won't let me see my kids or he won't pay child support, or they're arguing about the amount of child support, stuff like that. What's advice you can give parents now that may be going through a phase where they have to co-parent, but they're no longer in a relationship?
Start with this. Somebody got to have some sense.
Okay. And so, the children, they're both your children. At one point, you loved each other enough to get married. You loved each other enough to have children. Just because you all separate does not mean your responsibility stops.
Right.
Suppose both of us had said, well, Well, they're not my responsibility anymore because we're not married. Well, would that have left y'all?
Right.
You know, you were still our responsibility, and you have to find a way to work together. The bottom line is you've got to make sure you got to put the children first. You've made this decision to split up, but you still got to take care of the children. And that's what we did. We worked together to take care of the children. He did what he did each month. But if I needed extra, if I needed some more, all I had to do was pick up the phone and call him and say, hey, I need da 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 da. And if he would make it happen.
Yeah.
So, and it was not, we because we didn't think about ourselves, because it wasn't about us, it was about y'all.
But people don't come to realize because you are no longer marital partners, that does not make you warriors.
Right.
So you don't have to be fighting over everything. You don't have to be cussing each other out. You don't have to be rude to each other.
Right.
Okay, it didn't work, but do what you need to do.
Well, do me a favor, read that out loud for us.
It says you can't effectively parent when the pain from the breakup is in the way. Get past the pain for the betterment of the kids.
So let's talk about that. How was it navigating your pain and your, I say, disappointment with the divorce when it came to dealing with ours as well? Because it wasn't, yes, you got divorced, but it affected our family. So how did that work, navigating how you were feeling, plus having to navigate? Because we were all in 3 different stages of life. Like Ray was a teenager, I was a preteen, and Jared was a kid. So that's 3 different mindsets, 3 different stages. How did y'all navigate us plus your own?
We were parents. So, and I can't put it in a better way than that. We were just parents. So if y'all needed to talk, we would listen. We were there for all of you, for whatever. And whatever was going on between me and her, or not going on between me and her, quite frankly, that wasn't y'all concern.
Yeah.
You were children. You were our children, not our guardians. So whatever needed to be done, we did.
Did we? I kind of remember, but don't really remember. Did we ever ask questions that you were just like, "Oh God, I don't want to answer that"?
No.
So we never went through the awkward stage.
No.
Did any of us ask if it was our fault?
No. Because for you all, nothing changed.
Right.
Yeah.
It changed
Us.
Gotcha.
between us, but nothing changed between us and our children.
Gotcha. You see that on TV, and the kid always asks, what did I do? Maybe I was too loud, blah, blah, blah. And then the parent has to tell them, it's not your fault. So we never asked those kind of questions.
Asked that question.
That's good to know. And honestly, I don't remember. I remember, but don't remember. I remember when it happened, but I don't necessarily remember all of the feelings attached to it, because like you said, we still saw you every day. It wasn't like it was one of those, Daddy's gone, we never got to see him again. It was one of those. And we didn't go through the stage where Mommy badmouthed you to us. We never went through those things. And I will never forget, we were watching a music video. It was Drew Hill, Never Make a Promise. And in the video, the girl was being abused by her father. And we were watching the video, and Mommy said something. She said, I never worried about that with y'all, baby. And this is after y'all were divorced. And that always stuck in my head, because I was like, for her to say that means you really knew that he was a good man, that he was going to be a good father. And you could have not said anything, or you could have been like, I wondered about that. You never, that let me know that you never doubted that Daddy was going to be a good father, and that you trusted us with him. And I'm like, that says a lot, especially since y'all were divorced. You didn't have to say anything nice about him, but you did. So that really that spoke volumes to me about your character and yours, that you were like, I never worry about that with your daddy. Never. And you were so sure.
Well, my my parents were divorced, and my mom never spoke badly about my dad, even though he did not do everything he should have done. Mama was like, that is still your daddy, and you're gonna respect him.
Yeah.
And so I got that from her because she never badmouthed him to us. It was always, that's your daddy,
Yeah.
And truth be told, I could never not say that, say, oh, your dad is this or he's that or he's not, because he was a good daddy. He was
Yeah.
a good father. So if I had said something negative about him like that, I would have been lying.
Right.
And I couldn't do that because he was there for y'all always.
That still speaks volumes. Because I mean, most people when they get divorced, all the good things they thought about that person seem to go out the window. And it's like, did you ever even like them? Like,
Yeah.
And it's like, and we never went through that with y'all. Like, I never felt like, oh, I can't. Me and Daddy had a good time. Never mind. Me and Mommy had a great. Like, never mind. Like, I never felt like I had to hide my relationship
Right.
with you with the other parent.
Exactly.
So that's always a plus. So your parents were divorced, but yours never were. So did you ever go through like a stage where you were like, dang, my parents never got divorced and I did? Were you ever hard on yourself because of that?
No. Of course, my parents did not have an ideal marriage, but it worked for them.
Yeah.
So I didn't beat myself up because mine didn't. Because at some point it did.
Yeah.
And when it was good, it was good. So, all right. Okay, let me do this. People have to get out of their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when these marital relationships implode, that people only think about what they feel. And when they do that, that's when they become combative and they lash out at this and you didn't do this. And get out of your feelings.
Yeah.
Get out of your feelings. It is
What it is.
what it is.
Yeah.
And actually, we put the children first, But in a real sense, we put each other first in that we weren't going to try to be destructive toward the other person. And that's key.
Yeah.
That is extremely important.
I remember this was probably that first year we were divorced. And that Mother's Day, we had dinner at my mom's place. And you was like, Mommy, can I invite Daddy? And I was like, okay.
This is a story.
But you didn't notice, I was like, we had not started on that road.
The BFF journey.
Right, we hadn't started on the BFF journey at that point. It was still fresh. And she was like, Mommy, can I invite Daddy to dinner? And I'm like, okay.
Did I ever get that invitation?
Yeah, you can.
See, it was so damn normal.
You came. It was, yeah.
That is so funny.
But that let me know that we needed to do that because, I started thinking about holidays.
Mm.
You spend it. I didn't want you all saying, well, we spent Thanksgiving with Mommy. Now we got to spend Christmas with Daddy. We spent this with Mommy. We got to do this with Daddy. And at some point, it got to a place to where we just started, saying, hey, we're just going to meet at your house. We're going to meet at my house. And it happened, And, so it's like, it was just natural.
That's true. I don't remember the split holidays.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Yes, of course, I wanted to invite my daddy to Mother's Day dinner. Lord have mercy. I was a child. So
more importantly, you want daddy's girl.
I am. But I can say now that I've gotten older, I realize how much more I am like you. Like there are things that'll happen, I'll be like, "Oh, that's Penny. That's Penny coming right on up out of here." And I love it. So now we're at the point now. Your kids are grown. We are all adults. What was it? How did it develop the friendship? Because at that point, now with us being adults, the need to see each other for our sake is no longer there because we're adults. So how do we move to the point where now y'all, because y'all hang out without us? Okay, I just like to point out that she did a dinner with him where she made lamb chops for him. And we still ain't got no lamb chops from her yet. I just want to point that out, that was the whole BFF thing going on. So how did that come about that now you're hanging out without us? Y'all go on vacations without us, and y'all will go to dinner without us. So how did that develop? Because the need for us was no longer necessary.
Well, you explained it. You know, it wasn't a need to try to do anything for you all. And what she said earlier still applies. It just happened naturally. It was just a normal progression. You know, all right, I'm going to dinner. You want to go? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
By the way, you want to tag along? And does it ever seem weird? Did it seem weird at some point where it's kind of like, our kids aren't here. Why are we hanging out with each other? Or is it just like, we just hanging out?
No.
So, I got to ask, your friends, do any of them were like, so, y'all get back together kind of thing?
Yeah,
they still do that. In fact, now it's like, for all intents and purposes, are y'all people still there? You don't go nowhere without her. She don't go nowhere without you.
You don't. We joke about it all the time. They wait till we get over the damn divorce and want to turn around and be friends. The hell? Man, they some weirdos. They're such weirdos.
But that's what's messed up with our society. That would be weird.
Yeah.
That you can be cordial, that you can be people, and be weird.
Yeah.
It's so expected that, I'm going to tear his head off. I'm going to cuss her out, And that's the norm.
Right.
As opposed to
what we do.
Being friendly. Right. Being friends.
I remember I had gotten an upper respiratory infection, and your daddy came out the Stone Mountain to take me to my doctor's appointment. Traffic was so bad, we missed the doctor's appointment because the doctor's office was up Dallas Highway.
That's rude.
Yeah.
How the hell you find a doctor out there?
Well, see, when I lived on this side of town, and when I moved to Stone Mountain, I just kept that same doctor. So we were headed that way, but traffic was horrible. So they were going to be closed by the time we got there. And so I told them, I said, I can't go back home. I need you to take me to the emergency room because I was feeling really, really, really bad. And so he took me to the emergency room. I'll never forget it. And he sat there with me. And that was on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was they didn't get me in a room after they, examined me and ran those tests. They said, we're going to have to admit you. They didn't admit me until 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so I was in the room with this lady. And so I introduced her. She introduced herself and I introduced myself. And I said, this is my ex-husband, Penni Glover, And so when he left, she said, did you say he was your ex-husband? I'm like, yes. She said, that's so nice. She said, I'm divorced, and if I was on fire in the street, my ex-husband wouldn't spit on me. And I looked at her and
Damn.
and I looked at her and I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's like,
And I was
so is the doctor coming in?
and I was so shocked by, but she said, "I don't fire in the street. He wouldn't spit on me."
That's
I'm
terrible.
like,
That
right.
is. That really
Like,
is.
my God.
But that's the norm.
Yeah, right.
Wow. That's crazy.
Because people just feel like, oh, well, we're divorced. We don't have to talk. We can be mean. It's like they like we can be mean to each other now.
Right.
It is crazy.
That's so dang. That's messed up.
Yeah.
So
I
y'all
thought
are
you were gonna
weirdos.
say something else.
Ooh.
But y'all are even weirdos to divorce people. What do you mean that's your ex-husband? And it's so funny because now y'all don't even say ex anymore. Y'all can be like, that's my wife. And it's like,
Yeah, I introduced him one time. I was going to have a procedure done, and I introduced him as my forever husband.
This right here ain't changing. It ain't going nowhere. But it's because it's like it's so normal, and for us, being a part of the family, seeing y'all together is normal. So when my friends, like I think it was like one time I was living with you, and I was like, "Oh, we're going over to my dad's house," and he was like, "Ain't that home?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, wherever my parents are is home, but me and my mom stay in Stone Mountain." And he said, "Wait, huh?" Me and my mom stay in Stone Mountain. He was like, "Your parents live in separate houses?" Yes, I'm not picking up on what he put. I'm confused. Yeah. And he's like, "Why?" Because that's what divorced people do. They don't live together. He was like, "Your parents divorced?" Yes. For how long? Years. Like they ain't been married for years. Man, I thought your parents, like literally blown away. And so I stopped telling people. I was just like, "Look, believe what you want to." Because I don't want to have this conversation again. But I'm like, yeah.
Well, Ray's co-worker, she and her husband came to the house for dinner. And so your dad he said, "Well, I'm getting ready to go home. So I'm tired. I'm going home. So I'll see y'all later." And so she said, "Where is he going? In this home?" And Ray said, "No, my parents not married." "Your parents not married? They not married?" And Ray said, "No."
And why are you whispering like we don't know? We know they not married.
And she was just like, and she and her husband, they just kind of looked at each other.
Because y'all were actually nicer to each other than some married couples are to each other.
Yeah.
Like you listen to some folk and y'all are married. Do y'all know y'all married? Did y'all remember y'all were married? Because this conversation leads me to believe when y'all got amnesia. Because some people are like mean to each other.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the things y'all like to do? Tell the people as BFFs what are your favorite things to do?
Travel. Now, this originally was my goal. Originally, my goal.
Okay.
I wanted to go to all 30 baseball stadiums.
Okay.
And the first couple of times, I went alone. Then, I don't even remember where we were, but she went on one. And she has gone pretty much on everyone.
So where are we going?
That's when the year baseball season stuff. Where are we going this year?
And that's y'all thing. So out of the 30, how many you been to?
Overhead. I had written them down. I forgot what it's overhead. And a couple of them I could do
Again.
Yeah. Like I went to Shea Stadium in New York, which is no longer.
Oh.
So I got to go back to New York because now it's City Field.
Okay.
I rained out once, and that was Baltimore, so I got to go back to Baltimore.
Boston. Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
It rained when I went to Boston, but they got the game in.
Oh, okay.
Like I got to go back to Arlington, Texas. The year I went, they built a new stadium the next year.
Oh,
So
dang.
I got to go back and go to the new stadium, which is across the street. They built it right across the street.
So do they use the old stadium then?
I don't know. I don't know what they did, but they built a new one. In fact, they were building it when I went. Yeah, that one's done open next year. But well over half.
Okay. So what are we doing on the baseball trips?
Go to the game.
Go to the game.
That's it.
And see, she on, you don't want to go see the city. I didn't come to see the city. I came to go to the game. And when the game is over, I'm like, go.
See, I want to travel and see the city. I mean, if I'm going to go to a city I ain't never been to, explore a little bit. Now, I want to stay in the tourist areas. You know, some of our cities in the fair United States, it's not tourist friendly. Want to stay in the tourist area. So
I'm laser focused. I go to the city for one reason.
To see the game.
When the game is over, and the very next day, I'm out.
So where are we going this year?
We just got back from Detroit.
We have on schedule Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
Have you been to Pittsburgh before? Is this new?
That'd be new.
So all three of these are new?
Yeah, we went to Philly last year and to Tampa Bay.
Okay.
There's some more.
I feel like that was
We went one
Yeah,
more.
Cincinnati. That was the first trip,
Oh,
Cincinnati.
no.
Is that where we had the bad experience with the fast
never
food?
want to go. I don't want to go back to Cincinnati.
But you know, that tour, that stadium tour was great. I think that was one, since I've been going, I think that was one of the best ones because the tour guide was so knowledgeable and he was excited about the tour, about showing us everything. It was so much fun. And their Hall of Fame, their Red's Hall of Fame was great.
Yeah. I had no problem with Great American Ballpark.
Yeah.
I hate people that live in Cincinnati.
Oh, God.
I should say that. But
The people he met.
terrible! I never see enough. If someone say, I'm from Cincinnati, get away from me.
Like, move. Smell like Cincinnati.
But
Okay.
the stadium itself,
Mm.
the baseball game, great. People,
That's hilarious. So when they do the tours, do they have is it like museums in the stadium or stuff like that? So it's like a historic kind of look at the stadium itself.
Like when you go to Tourist Park, when you walk around like past the store, and they have the Atlanta Braves Hall of Fame, and they have that exhibit there. It's the same thing, but the one in Cincinnati was awesome.
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I like it. We're going to take one more commercial break and then we're going to come back. If you have any questions for our BFFs, put those in the comments and we'll be sure to answer those questions. This is Dilyn's Dive Bar, a family affair. We'll be right back. It is Dilyn's Dive Bar, and we are talking with my parents, and we are talking about their relationship after they got divorced and how they have forged a beautiful friendship, and how it has inspired a lot of people. A lot of people talk about how close y'all are, and how, you know, I've heard people say that, you know, I wish my parents were like that. I wish my family could be like that. Because our family does, our family's weird, but we do set a standard in how we get along, and how the two of you have really set that for us. Because if you didn't get along, it would be kind of hard for all of us to, you know, really do that. So what is that like, being the patriarch and the matriarch of our family?
Challenging.
I don't like that word at all.
No, but it is.
Yeah.
Because you have, in our family, we have strong personalities.
We do.
And each and every one. And it's challenging dealing with all these strong personalities. And then we have strong personalities. So it's challenging.
Gotcha. Mommy?
I concur.
See, I told you this girl knows this.
I'm just gonna agree with him. Challenging.
I always told y'all there are always two rules. Rule number one, I'm always right. Rule number two,
Refer to
when in
number
doubt,
one.
refer back to me.
So for all of you who feel like Randy's stubborn, always feel like she's right, it is genetic. Okay? Because I mean, I am. And if you just keep that in your spirit, we could just have a very
But then
smooth.
again, you got a double barrel.
I do, because both of them are stubborn. Only one of them is actually admitting this on camera.
I don't know what you're talking about.
See?
Right. You know, I admit that I just feel like I am sure of myself.
Self-denial.
I am sure
Self-denial.
of myself, and you cannot persuade me. You know, I don't blow with the wind. I stand on whatever I say. I don't feel like that's stubborn. I feel like that's assertive. Now you want to say
Tomato.
I'm just saying. I stand on what I say. Now, looking forward, with our family, what are some of your favorite holidays that you're looking forward to?
All of them.
Yeah. Really? You're not really a holiday person, though.
No. They come, they go.
So is there one in particular that least get on your nerves?
You know what the best holiday is?
Your birthday?
Well, the anniversary of my birthday.
Yes, that is definitely how I have to start saying my birthday. He said it's the 10th anniversary of my birth. I was like, I like that. I'm gonna have to remember that. Yours is Christmas.
Yeah, I love the Thanksgiving, Christmas holidays because Mama liked them, and she always looked forward to them, and she always just, like when we were growing up, she always just made it so special.
Yeah.
You know, she loved decorating, and she loved, you know, just putting things together. Mama started shopping for Christmas in September. I remember she would start Christmas shopping in September, and she wouldn't finish until Christmas Eve. And and she enjoyed it so much. And I remember one time, Uncle William, he had gone shopping with Mama, and he was like, Grace, it's time to go. Grace, when are we leaving? Grace, what else do you have to buy? You know?
Ain't you bought all the gifts?
And somebody, and I think, I can't remember who it was, asked him, you ever been shopping with Grace? He said, ain't going back.
I feel it. I feel it because oh God.
And see, I don't like shopping. And I think that is so not girly like, but I don't like shopping. It does not make me happy.
Now, I don't like shopping now.
Oh.
I liked it then,
Yeah.
you know, but now, you know what I like shopping for now? Furniture. I love decorating. So I love going in the stores and looking at things and getting ideas. But as far as shopping for clothes and shoes, I absolutely hate it.
I can't stand it.
Now, no, I
Now,
it's
but
now.
but back in the
Never
day.
liked it.
But the thing of it is, I had to. But even then, I had to say, okay, I'm going shopping. And I had to be looking for something.
Yeah.
And I would get so disappointed till I stopped doing it because I felt like I was wasting my time when I didn't find what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So I just said, okay, if I see it, I see it. So I would just go walking, and if I saw it, okay. Like I remember one year for Women's Day, the colors were purple and silver. And I'm like, I got to go find a purple suit because I didn't have one. And one of my coworkers, Ann, went with me. She was like, well, I'll go with you. And Ann loved to shop. And so I remember we went in one store, and I'm like, don't see anything in here. Went in another store. I tried on this suit. I wasn't really happy with it. Went in the last store, picked up this suit, tried it on, liked it, looked at the price, within my range. I said, okay, I'm ready. She said, you're not going to look anywhere else? I'm like, no.
I got the suit.
I got what I wanted. But you might find something. I found one. Why am I going looking for something else? You know.
That was not the way it was in the beginning.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But as I got older, and I didn't have the patience. I didn't have the patience for shopping.
Yeah, bad flashbacks.
Because I felt like if I didn't find anything, I just wasted my time.
Yeah.
You know, so and I have to dress a certain way when I'm going shopping. I'm putting on something that's easy to get in and out of.
Right.
I'm putting on slip-on shoes so I can get in and out of them. I'm not wearing tennis shoes because then I got to tie them and untie them. So I put on something like
There's a method to the madness.
yes, I put on some slip-on shoes. I put on a one piece, in and out, you know. And and like when I went shopping, I think last year was the first time I went shopping, and I didn't have anything in mind. I just wanted to go and shop, and if I came up on something, I would buy it. And I found 4 outfits that day, and I bought them. And it was just like, oh, this is cute. Oh, I like this. Tried them on. I liked them. I got them and went home.
See, I skipped the trying on part. I'm not trying on stuff. So I go to the store, I learn my size, and I stick to it.
But see, the thing of it is, because people make clothes differently, the cut is so different, I can't do that. I have to try it on, and I hate taking stuff back.
Yeah.
So when I walk out of the store with it, I know I'm going to keep it. So it's no, oh, I got to take this back and get a smaller size, or I got to take this back and get a larger size. Well, I don't like the way this look on me, so I'm taking this back. When I leave the store with that bag, I'm keeping everything that's in it.
Gotcha. I hate shopping. Like with a passion. I hate shopping. I can't stand it.
Well, I hate it initially in our first few years. I hated shopping with her. Initially, she would go to the rack, and she would look at this. Okay. And she would go there, and she would go there, and she would come back to this first thing she saw. And I'm like, well, why did you get that? Well, I had to see what else was available. Okay. I'm going shopping. Bye.
Yeah. But you like to shop.
Yes.
For you.
For me. I don't want to go shop with her now. Now all of that stuff she just went for, that's wonderful. I have remembrances.
Have you ever bought things for her, like shoes or handbags or hats?
They used to buy me suits for Mother's Day every year.
Really?
And I looked forward to Mother's Day.
I have great taste.
He does.
So how did you know? I mean, like, what was your process of shopping for her?
I bought what I liked, what I would imagine she would look good.
They used to buy suits.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted you in suits. Is that because you wore suits?
No, but again, I bought her what I thought she would look good in. And I knew she would always look good in a suit.
I love it. I love it. All right. So now we're going to play a couple of quick questions. See how well y'all know each other. Ready? What's mommy's favorite color?
Orange.
Is that right?
Yes.
What's daddy's favorite color?
Blue.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What's mommy's favorite movie?
Hallmark.
The whole channel.
All of them.
The whole channel.
Christmas in particular. All of them.
It's Christmas in
She'll
July.
stand there and watch one behind another.
No, I'm going to tell you how I know she watching. Oh, I've seen this one. He's going to do da-da-da-da. Why? Why?
I tell you what, it was one time we were living together, of course, and I deleted the Hallmark channel from the cables, and I came with you. She's almost in tears. Hell wrong with you? I call these folk tomorrow.
That is so
All of
sweet. What's daddy's favorite movie?
Wrestling.
That is not a movie.
And I don't have a favorite movie.
You don't have a favorite movie?
Wrestling.
Really?
Baseball.
Baseball, wrestling.
Huh.
MLB Network and wrestling.
So since y'all like soap operas, who's daddy's favorite soap opera character?
Victor Newman.
Yes. Yes. Mean as hell. He's conniving. That's my man.
Like Victor myself. Who's mommy's?
Sonny?
I like Sonny. When he ain't being crazy.
Like right now,
Yeah, he being a little special right now.
he's off his meds.
Yeah.
Because she disliked more people
Yeah, she do.
than she liked.
Let me quit talking about a hussy. That's why I learned all the words. I'm like, oh, she's just a hussy. What is one of those?
You don't really want that explanation.
Because I can tell you, look, you know who she hates.
Right.
That done Brooke Logan up.
Oh, my God.
Well, everybody hates Brooke Logan.
Not everybody. Not all the men that keep sleeping with her. She is sunshine on the stick as far as they concerned. Who does the character daddy can't stand the most?
Phyllis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Look, I was trying to talk something. I was like, Drusilla. Daddy can't stand her.
I can't, but
Right,
Phyllis
it's
is right in
Phyllis.
front of me.
I agree. Absolutely. Dream vacation. What's daddy's dream vacation?
A baseball game. Yeah.
What's mommy's?
To go to Europe.
Any country in particular in Europe?
I want to go to France. I want to go to Paris. I want to go to Rome, Italy.
Absolutely.
And see, when I was a seminarian, I went to those places. And I came back with pictures and I was telling about it. And yeah, one day I'm taking it.
Anybody a travel agent out there? He needs a trip to Europe. He needs a trip to Europe for 2, because they're not gonna take us. We're adults now.
Every tub got to stand on
I'm gonna make it there. All of my siblings have traveled. Jared done been to Costa Rica, and Brandon done been to Spain, and Ray done been to Paris. I got to get me out the country. I traveled across the country, so I was like, I'm gonna get out the country. Jared talking about something. I would have stayed if I ain't have a wife and kids. Oh Lord. Okay, Costa Rica.
I would have never said that.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Cats or dogs?
None.
It's a trick question. I gotta do the answer to that one.
Neither.
Granddad tried to give Daddy and them a dog. They kept losing them. We asking for a dog, and he throwing dogs away.
When I left home, my parents had dogs. I was like, if I ever leave home, if I ever, I will never
And he has never.
have another animal. The closest I came when this one wanted me to cat sit.
PJ.
I hated that damn cat.
Oh, PJ. And he used to try to like cozy up to daddy all the time. Like he rubbed against daddy's ankle. You swear he bit daddy. Daddy was like, no, daddy. I was like, he's just being nice. Be nice over there.
Same thing with Bria's dog. That dog.
And that's funny because they love you. Every time she sees you, she get excited.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, do we have any questions that we need to answer in the comment section?
Oh, we are good for tonight, man. Unfortunately, we got the NFL draft rolling, so.
I'm shadowed by the NFL. That's okay. Because I'm gonna be watching football. I can't wait for football. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. All right, so guys, what you saw in our commercial break. Iron Will Media Group will be going to Hattiesburg, Mississippi for the Hub City Sneaker Ball. We will all be in attendance. It's going to be an amazing, amazing affair. Okay, this is a social event of the season. There's going to be an auction. There's going to be live music. There's going to be a bar, and I Am Woe podcast will be there broadcasting live. So if you can meet us there, get your tickets. If not, be sure to tune in when we go live. We're gonna all be there. We're Woe, Lady Code, DT, myself, Cheryl. We're all gonna be in attendance. So come out and see us. Hang out with Iron Will Media Group at the Sneaker Ball and bring your best kicks. Guys, it has been a pleasure. Thank you guys for coming on.
Absolutely.
I love this conversation. It's great. And this is the season finale of season 2 of Dilyn's Dive Bar. We'll be coming back at you with more. So stay tuned. And as always, remember, you were designed to thrive. So stick to the plan. And we'll see you around. Peace.